Hello, Northwest Arkansas. Hey, this is Coley Bailey with Fathom Realty, bringing you another monthly market update, and we are firmly into our holiday season. I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving, and I hope you've got a Merry Christmas planned and coming up. Let's take a look at our real estate market as we close out the year here. And as always, you can find this monthly market update on the blog at homeswithcoley.com. Before we get into the blog over here, I just wanted to point out, when you're on the website, if you're looking to sell your house for the most amount of money, you should check out my pre-listing price accelerator program right here. Or if you're looking to find your dream home, please make sure to double click right here for the Dream Home Finder program. All right, so let's take a look at these December 2021 sales numbers. So our month supply has actually dipped down to 0.7. This is actually 21 days of inventory. If we had no other properties hitting the market, we would sell out in 21 days, given the current rate of sales. In mid-month in December, we only had about 700 active listings, and we were closing about 1,000 over the last 30 days. So there's some interesting data here in the active and pending versus closings chart. As you can see, since May of this year, we've actually closed over 1,000 properties every month for the last just about 7 months now. And what that means is that our buyer demand is holding very strong right here, even while the number of listings is dropping coming into our holiday season. As you know, the effect that has on the market is that it keeps prices high. So let's take a look at that next. So our average sale price came out to $332,686 in the month of November. Also, our median was at $280,400. Now, as you can see, over the last 5 or 6 months, we have tested the highs 3 times with both our average and our median. Now, if this was a stock chart, a lot of stock pickers would tell you that we're seeing a significant price level right there at that 340 average and 280 median. And if it was stocks, they would tell you, oh, the prices are going to bounce off of that and they're going to drop from here. Well, real estate's a little bit different. I would expect potentially in January or February to see prices decline a little bit just due to seasonality. However, coming into the spring and the summer, I'm going to expect these prices to maintain or continue to climb higher. Although I don't expect that we'll have maybe the double-digit increases percentages that we saw this year. We should continue to see steady growth in our prices. As for price per square foot, in Benton County, we're at around $178 a square foot. In Washington County, it was $171. That's $200 in Bentonville on average and $187 in Fayetteville. Now, over the last 2 years, I've had a lot of people ask me what my thoughts were on the foreclosure crisis because when the pandemic hit, so many people went into the forbearances and stopped paying their mortgages. And the fear was that when those ended, there were going to be a ton of foreclosures that were going to flood the market. It was going to tank the market. And a lot of people have been holding on for 2 years almost now, hoping almost that the market falls. I know a lot of investors and home buyers alike were looking for prices to come down. And this is what they thought was going to be the impetus of the price coming down. But let's take a look at the data. There was almost 5 million people on forbearance plans. There were about almost 5 million mortgages in forbearance right after the pandemic hit. And since that time, it has continued to come down. And now we're to the point where there are only about 1 million homes still on that forbearance plan. And so what that means is people have either sold those homes, and so the market has absorbed them without crashing prices, or more likely, people have gotten their jobs, gotten their financing back in order, and they've started to actually make those payments. And so this flood of foreclosures that a lot of people were expecting is just not looking like it's going to happen. At least not from the pandemic-induced forbearance plan that was put in place. And so what that means is that most of the data that we have is pointing towards prices maintaining where they are or continuing to climb. And so the longer that you wait, the more expensive the house that you get is going to be in the future. Also, the Federal Reserve has stated that they would like to raise interest rates a couple of times throughout 2022. And if that's the case, your mortgage is going to get more expensive as well. So keep all that in mind. My recommendation is that if you have been thinking about selling your house and buying another one, get in touch with me right now. Get in touch with me as we're rolling over into this new year so we can actually get you on the calendar and we can say, look, maybe it's March for you. Maybe it's June. Maybe, you're waiting for kids to get out of school or whatever. There's some significant reason that you're going to wait. But honestly, the earlier, the better. The earlier that we can find your next home, the better off you're going to be because we're going to be able to get a better deal that way. Now, that being said, obviously there's not a lot in the market, so how do we find your next deal? Well, I want you to check out my Dream Home Finder program. I'm going to have a link to it below. Check out the Dream Home Finder program where we can actually go find unlisted off-market properties where you're the only buyer who's looking at those opportunities. If that sounds good to you, please make sure to click that link below. You can always find it on the website as well, like I just mentioned at the beginning of this video. Well, that is our December 2021 market update. I hope that was informational for you. I hope you got something out of it, and I'll see you on the next one.